Everybody, welcome to the Fandom Post Radio Podcast. I am your engineer, Kate, and joining me this week is Brandon.
Yo.
And Kestrel.
Hello.
And Kane.
Yo.
And we are here to talk about anime, but mostly anime news, and then we will catch up on the season's shows. Because we didn't have a ton of news, but the news we had is actually fairly huge. So we should just dive right into that.
Yeah. So first piece of fairly huge news. There was an Evangelion event in Japan for its 30th anniversary. We talked about it briefly, that they would be debuting a little new animation there. We don't know when that's coming out in any official release outside of that exhibit. It was leaked by Stupid Gaijin recording it, of course. So yeah, they're not happy about that part, but hopefully we'll get it eventually. But anyway, the big announcement at the end of the multi-day event was that there will be a new Evangelion anime series. First one basically outside of Hideaki Anno's purview. He is quite done with the franchise, but it will be still animated by Studio Kara in conjunction with Cloverworks, and directed by his protege, Kazuya Tsurumaki, who co-directed many of the Evangelion films, Fooly Cooly, Gundam, G-Quox, etc. And notably, it is being written by Yoko Taro, the creator of Nier, and the music is by Keiichi Okabe, the composer of Nier. And that's all we know.
That's rad, though.
Yep.
It's going to have amazing sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, just let Evangelion end. But then it's like, okay, Yoko Taro and the composer is like, it's kind of fire. Like, I'll let him cook.
Yeah, we'll see.
I got two completely separate text messages after that announcement. And they both said the exact same thing, which is those Evas are gonna be so hot now. And that was the initial reactions because of the Yoko Taro thing. It's like they're gonna be dummy thick, was I think what both of them said.
Jesus.
So we do have that to look forward to. Bear that in mind.
True. He does like the ladies wearing scanty outfits. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that ends up becoming.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of inevitable that, they wouldn't let Evangelion just end. It's kind of amazing that it's gone this long, being so successful without really extending outside of the main story of the 26 episodes and then their retelling. So, yeah, it was inevitable. We'll see. I'm sure people felt this way about Gundam when, G Gundam started or something. So, yeah, we don't know, it's canon, if it's a totally new universe, how connected it is. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Was the Asuka spin-off thingy just a thing specifically for the event?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We don't know if we're getting any official release of that, but it was 10 minutes of Asuka epilogue to Rebuild.
Interesting.
As far as I could tell. I did not watch the leaks.
Yeah. I saw some screenshots and I was like, okay. I don't know how to feel.
Yeah. It better just be the Shinji Ikari raising project.
Yeah. Oh, there's been lots of spin-offs in video games and manga. But it's been pretty centered on Anno's main story for the anime. So, in theory, they have all of that to draw upon if they ever want to adapt any of it into anime. And yeah, I don't know how much Anno cares about what they do with the franchise at this point. But yeah, they they'd been putting out a few of those like little extra animations. The 3.0 plus 1.0 or whatever Blu-ray had like one or two additional ones. But yeah, that's the big news there.
I'm still holding on to my DVD collector's edition that I got at FYE of the first movie, thinking that someday that shiny paper is gonna be funding my retirement. It's not true at all.
It probably cost you your retirement when you bought it.
I bought it when it was released.
Expensive.
It was like $20 when I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking about like 1.11.
Yeah. I
I
remember buying that and thinking, man, this thing is going to be worse. I have full Beanie Baby syndrome for that.
Someday.
I don't know why. Yeah, I think because it had like a cool holographic like shiny case, and I think it had some like booklet or art cards or some bullshit in there. And young me was like, I've never seen this before. Like, this is incredible.
You're gonna have to send the art cards to get minted, then maybe you can make some money.
I'm just gonna get everything graded. I'm sure there's someone out there who would take my money just to say that's a 10 out of 10 and then return it.
There are people out there who grade anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I look forward to your appearance on Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, you'll see me there with my stupid anime DVD looking like a dork. Yeah, I think, do we know anything? Because I imagine the information is very thin, but I'm going to assume that Yoko Taro is like a big Evangelion fan. I don't know, because I don't know if this is just like, I could fucks with this. Or
I don't know if he's ever said, but he
looks the part.
He does love his biblical allegories and robots, so
yeah.
He loves his cool crosses.
Yeah, let me just link this for you guys. And there you go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Everything.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Okay. What are your inspirations for Nier Automata? Definitely Evangelion, but then everything I make is influenced by Evangelion. So, yeah.
Just a little bit.
That.
Just a little bit.
So, that
might be the right guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was gonna say it might not be in a way, because now he has to make an Evangelion, and then what is he gonna do?
Hopefully go back to making Nier games or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Yoko Taro is the ultimate let the fans make it choice.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that, because what is Anno doing now that he's finally done with Evangelion? Remaking everything that influenced him as a creator.
Yeah.
So he's just continuing the generational trend. That's like because Anno and the Gainax group were like the original otaku creators, right? They were the first generation of like, we are the otaku that are going to make the next generation of anime, and then we've had several generations follow in their footsteps directly. So it kind of makes sense that you gotta pass the torch to someone who's just a fucking nerd for your stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like a creative Ouroboros.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how all entertainment works now.
Basically, you can't really fund an original idea. They won't allow it.
Regurgitate it, swallow it up again, regurgitate it again.
Yeah.
Which is why I was ready for Evangelion to just die, but I knew that this was inevitable, and I'm shocked it took over 30 years to really get like whatever a brand new story by a brand new team this will be.
Yeah,
in anime.
Honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Next piece of news. So from one Hideaki to another, the creator of Gintama, Hideaki Sorachi, had a little known work before Gintama called Dandelion, and Netflix has announced that they will be adapting it into a new anime series for April 2026.
That's cool. I've never read it. It's like I'm pretty sure it's just like a one shot, right?
Yeah, I think that might be true.
But
they said anime series, so maybe.
Okay, anything Sriracha, I'm cool with at this point.
Yeah, you're right. It was a one shot, so they probably I don't know, are just going to expand on the idea.
That's fun. That's interesting because I know Netflix now has Gintama, but they're releasing it in chunks because from what I know, they had the first like 20 or so episodes, and I saw recently that they're going to get another batch, quote unquote, Gintama season 2 soon.
Right.
So that'll take about 5 years to get the rest of it on there.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they started getting the One Piece anime on there, and then they had their own One Piece live action series, and they were like, all right, I guess we should probably like catch up or something.
I guess that explains a little bit why that showed up on my feed, like the dandelion images, because they showed up in some of my feeds, and I'm like, what the... This just looks like a normal-ass slice-of-life anime. Why is it showing up so often? And that explains it.
Yep.
So, good to be educated.
Sriracha posters.
Yep. All right. Next piece of news. How's this pronounced? Media do? I don't know. Media don't.
Nice.
Japanese company called Media. I think it's Media Do. If it's Japanese pronunciation, that's what it would be. Has announced they have acquired 7 Seas, the until this point largest independent English manga publisher. And in addition to no major English publisher being able to survive without being a subsidiary of a Japanese publisher, Media Do also made a point of highlighting their AI translation system when they announced this acquisition, and that 7 Seas will be doubling their output. And 7 Seas put out their own post saying, nah, there's no AI translation going on, don't worry. Yeah, so that's where we're at.
And then it forced Media Do to put out a thing going, we had a bad translation. That's not what we meant at all.
We had an AI translation.
Yeah, even if that post was AI translated, don't worry, the manga won't be.
Right.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of bad communication happening here, intentional and unintentional. Yeah. Like none of their staff knew this was coming down the line. And by down the line, I mean they found out the same time we did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which reflects on 7 Seas' original owner very poorly.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Always comes across as incredibly scummy, especially for somebody who seemed to be in it originally for the love of the game, but perhaps ego and time and $80 million.
Yeah, that last one especially.
Yeah. What about that one?
Underline that one. Underline that.
Yeah. $80 million causes a lot of people to give up their scruples very quickly.
Much like $111 billion.
So, who knows how long that will stay. The only thing I can hope for here is that, in Japan, the original creators of works usually tend to have a little bit more pull than they would in English. And if we can make them pissed off, that would be good. Because that's, I think, the only... Between that and the scrutiny of everybody immediately saying, we're not going to buy shit, got that statement out there pretty damn quick for something that broke over the weekend. So...
Yeah, there's a lot of very quick attempts at damage control there.
Yeah. So hopefully they, at least for a while, please don't let it go to shit until I finally get all my copies of the 12 Kingdoms out in English, please. Thank you. Go to shit after that. I mean, I got the other stuff I wanted out of them. I've got YKK and Dragon Half. I just need 12 Kingdoms to finish releasing, and then you can go to shit.
Fair. I love that now every single like buyout or merger or anything has to be predicated with a post that's like, don't worry, nothing's going to change too much. There's not going to be too much AI, just please don't abandon ship.
Or announced with the promise of all the AI.
Yeah.
And sometimes both.
Yeah, if you're acquired by Microsoft, expect a lot of AI.
I can't wait until we start getting announcements from these companies, and the announcement starts just like, so we have some news, but you have to promise you can't get mad.
Don't get mad.
Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Well, they'll all be owned by Paramount eventually. And by Paramount, I mean the Ellisons and Jared Kushner and the Saudis.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they don't have the money to do it. You just have to promise to give people more money than you can ever imagine.
No, all you do is you buy the company and then saddle the debt to the company that you just bought with no money.
I see. Business.
I still don't know how that's going to go. I'm like, how does this work? I don't understand how you can just forcefully take over something and then make them have to pay everything.
Kate's not telling us about her background in Kate's not telling us about her background in private equity.
Yeah, but it also helps when your daddy has $400 billion.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those just joining us, Kate spent 10 years working at a newspaper company who got bought out by private equity, who continues to buy things out despite not having the money to do so.
Yikes.
How long ago was the controversy, if you can call it that? I guess I'll call it that, sure. The controversy about Crunchyroll's AI subtitling stuff. That wasn't that long ago, right?
No.
Yeah, it was like last season.
Yeah, and it's still kind of ongoing. It's like everybody's... It's one of those things where everybody has to babysit the company to make sure shenanigans don't go on.
Right. It's just funny because you think, like, common sense, you read the room and you're like, maybe we shouldn't say something about AI because the last time it happened in this community, everyone went fucking bonkers.
Yeah, Japan wasn't aware of that shit.
Right, exactly.
And they were talking to their investors. They're like, the Americans won't read this press release. Oh, dear God, the Americans read this press release. They won't translate this. They don't speak our language. What?
So, anyway, your monthly company got bought out and it's all AI slop now news.
Yeah.
Always gonna have one, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard pressed to beat out our monthly like who died post.
And speaking of which, my last piece of news here, the announcement of the passing of there's a Hideaki in 3 of my 4 stories. I just realized
no.
Hideaki Hata, the founder, president, and CEO of Kyoto Animation, who was known for, kind of shepherding in the concept of a work-life balance and good work culture in anime production by working really hard for decades to get to that point, and then guiding the company through the aftermath of the arson attack. So yeah, he was a real MVP in a lot of ways, and yeah, they just announced that he passed away. He was 76.
Okay.
And yeah, the studio didn't really start taking on its own productions until like the turn of the century, but he did found it in 1985 and led the company for 40 plus years. And yeah, that's
bummer.
That's all they said about it, pretty much. Yeah,
depressing.
Pour one out.
Yeah.
Is from what I understand, his son is taking over.
Yeah, and it was him and his wife Yoko Hata
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, right? It was it was him and his wife that had been doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, he was technically the president and CEO, but she was definitely running the show with him. And yeah, I guess he gave the titles were given to his son for this, but yeah.
Well, I can only hope keeping in the family is a good thing with the way that they run it there. So
right. Yep.
So yeah, that's the real one.
Maybe we'll have some good news someday.
Yeah, or like I don't know, bad people dying.
Like bad would love that.
Like when the Dragon Quest composer died, we were like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, we're like finally.
No problem.
We were okay with that.
This one sucks for sure. But yeah, that was the news that I had.
Yeah.
Cool.
It blasted through that faster than I thought we were going to.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it more. We can talk about Paramount bullshit. We can talk about
there was something else. I haven't really read into it too much, but there was like I don't know if they're like a publisher in Japan or something, but there's these like artists coming out against their publisher for like protecting some abuser.
Yeah, we should talk. Yeah, it was Shokugak. I can't pronounce this one. It's the one it's the one I can't pronounce.
The one you can't pronounce.
The one.
Just the one.
I could say Shueisha.
You can.
I could say Kadansha.
There it is. Yeah, one for 3 is real good in baseball.
I'll give her a 0.5 of 3.
I could say Square Enix. I could say
there you go.
Kadansha.
There you go. But yeah, that stuff sounded pretty serious, but it's cool to know that a bunch of mangaka and artists were coming out against it, because from the most part, I feel like a lot of artists stay pretty tight-lipped about stuff like this, like all the stuff with the Rurouni Kenshin artists.
Right.
I feel like for the most part, a lot of people really close lips about that. I know a lot of people give Oda shit for like not really talking about that stuff ever. But it's cool to see so many of the artists are like, yo, this is not cool actually, so stop publishing my stuff.
Yeah,
including Frieren.
Yep.
And I think all of the works of Rumiko Takahashi.
Yeah, and then One as well. I think
that's
that was
right.
The first one I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was, a mangaka who name of Shoichi Yamamoto published a new manga on their service under a different pen name than the one he had been using prior, so that nobody would know it was him.
Oh God,
dude, that's some nasty work.
Yeah. And he was arrested and indicted on the charge of committing a coerced indecent act on a female middle school student in 2020. They don't go into what this was, but the details are out there, and they're real fucking gnarly. Like, bury this guy under a jail on the sun.
Yeah.
Levels of gnarly, like grooming, and then like horrible, like Neil Gaiman levels of fucked up sexual abuse. And then so needless to say, he snuck back in under a different name, and they thought, I guess him and whatever buddies he had at the company thought none would be the wiser. And everybody found out, and everybody's like, fuck no, this is bullshit. And the thing that really got, and what really got stuff going on was all of the other people signed with that publisher freaking the fuck out. And pulling works or putting works on hiatus or just leaving. taking the ball and going home.
Love that.
Yeah, that is definitely good to see.
It's about time. I mean, after everything that's happened with everybody else, it's like, thank you for like finally being, this is fucked up. No.
And 2 days later, Shogakukan admitted that they did the exact same thing with another person who was arrested for and convicted of a sex crime. The creator of Act Age. They also let him come back and do another manga under a different pseudonym as well.
No way, bro. That's crazy.
Yep.
Oh my god. I remember when the Act Age thing happened because everyone was like, this is going to be like one of the next big manga, and then it just had to just cut because of that shit was messed up. Oh, jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But hey, the Kenshin guy gets to judge the Tezuka Awards again, so that's pretty
sure does.
God.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was the thing that I had seen recently in my news feed where it was just like he gets to be a judge for this, honorable award for manga again. Fucking Christ.
What have we learned? Pedophiles are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing in the news more than AI slop is that everyone's a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. And I think for the Kenshin dude, I think he had like multiple terabytes of.
He was harboring lots of CP.
He had tons of CP, and then they did almost nothing about it at all, which is absolutely insane.
And then
his excuse was, this was all legal when I bought it. So like,
he's like, reference work.
Yeah.
Reference material.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, Japan is so behind the times that it was like only a few years before that they even criminalized possession of child porn.
Probably doesn't help that they're going to stay behind the times with their new PM. So, if anything, they're going to go even further back in time.
We're all stuck in this hellscape.
Make Japan great again.
Yeah. No,
we're all stuck in this hellscape.
Yeah.
Yep. And they just keep adapting Rurouni Kenshin, and they let him resume the manga spin-off of it that he was working on. It pretty much immediately. It was on hiatus for like a month or two. Viz canceled it, but yep. Now Aniplex is big backer of the new anime adaptation. All business as usual. He's getting exhibits. He's getting joint appearances with Oda. All kinds of shit. And then I've mentioned this before, but I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. Oda's other BFF, the Toriko guy, was arrested and convicted of violating child prostitution laws, including paying 16-year-old girl to have sex.
God damn it, dude.
This was in 2002. Toriko started in 2008. So 6 years after this, Shueisha went to him and said, hey, you want to be the next One Piece? Let's make you the next One Piece. And Toei jumped on board, and yep.
I did not realize that happened like so much before his career actually went on the upswing.
Yep.
That's crazy.
The only good thing about that is nobody really bit on that. We're like, nah, we're not interested.
Yeah, and his new shit flopped so hard too. Build King or whatever.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
I was like, they were pushing it so hard. Like, canon episodes of the One Piece, not canon, but numbered episodes of the One Piece anime were just Toriko crossovers. And, like, the only new Dragon Ball animation that was made for a while was a Toriko crossover. They were trying so hard to make it the next thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were a few Toriko Gintama references too.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Gintama had its crossover with Sket Dance as a reference to One Piece's crossover with Toriko. Yeah.
Oh man, the shit goes deep, man. It's eyes wide shut. Oh.
Yeah, that definitely colors the situation a little bit. To I think Kestrel, you had said it earlier, maybe Bran, one of you two, about how people are getting on Oda for not speaking out. It's like, well, I mean, he's bros. With some of them.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. He still feels like he owes him because he was a assistant. But then it's like, does this incriminate you too? Because I don't want to think about that.
Are you saying Oda's on the Watsuki files?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Hey, real quick, name this episode the Watsuki Files. And then just
I'm typing it out. Don't worry.
I don't even know what the thumbnail's going to look like anymore. We haven't even gotten to the anime part.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I feel so bad for what we're doing.
No. Oh, I actually have a good idea.
Oh, good.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That was quick. Okay.
Yeah, inspiration struck real quick. Like, huh?
I could see the little new type effect there happen.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Does anybody else have any? Does anyone else have any news about any deviant criminals?
No deviant criminals. But I do have a wholesome thing to end this news on, which was
great.
Well, that can't
Netflix and their weird new synergy of having like putting out the new season of Sesame Street decided to do a little promo between Iñaki and Elmo.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's and this hurts. This hurts as a longtime One Piece fan, but it's Iñaki explaining the word Nakama to Elmo.
Oh.
And I'm all like, no, we buried this. I thought this was dead. What have you done?
That makes sense now. I saw the picture of Elmo on the Going Merry, and I was like, what is this crossover? Man.
Kate, I wanted you to say as a longtime Sesame Street fan.
That too.
Yeah.
I am a long-term Sesame Street fan. Oh, I was definitely a Sesame Street kid. Mr. Rogers scared the fuck out of me. He didn't seem right.
All right, well, you are so wrong, but
remember the year where Kane's recommendation every episode was the Mr. Rogers documentary?
Yeah, I would still make it if I could. I'd be like, yeah, no, fuck anime. Watch this documentary, and then you'll be whole as a person.
Mr.
You probably
Rogers
included that on your top 10 anime.
Mr. Rogers, not a creepy pedophile, but he came off as one.
Say, I bet I did put that on my top anime list. If not, I'm gonna do it this year.
Yep. Let me be your, or what is it? I'm sorry. Can I be your neighbor? What is it called? Apparently you didn't recommend it enough. Won't You Be My Neighbor? That makes sense. Won't You Be My Neighbor, the 2018 documentary about Mr. Rogers, is the #1 anime of 2026.
Why not?
Excellent. All right, I guess we probably should talk about some anime.
Oh, yeah.
And we're lucky enough that we have good anime to talk about, so we're not just going from crimes into a mediocre season. Boy, that would be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
The first one that I wanted to talk about is an anime that we kept off the list the last time because I hadn't been fully caught up / finished with it yet, but I know Kestrel was glad somebody else was watching it, even if I feel like we're gonna have some disagreements on how it is. But I'm talking about the new. It's totally original, right? It's not just Netflix original. It's totally original.
Totally original.
Right. Totally original anime. Love Through a Prism. So before I pass it to Kestrel, because I want to get your opinion on it, because I did like it. Let me be clear. I'm not just going to sit here and shit on it. I did like it. I liked it for its time period. I liked it for the fact that all of the relationships and things are between like adults in interesting, situation where they're all like living independently of sorts and things. So like the melodrama sort of kind of was on the down low, and some of the characters were good. Others I'm a little less enticed by, but overall I did really enjoy it. And when Emily and I were watching it, my favorite moment of the series was I called exactly when the World War I stuff was going to start. And it made me laugh because I was just like, these people, they don't know what's coming. They don't know. And then that was right when Kit's brother was like, there's a storm of steel on the horizon. I'm like, there fucking is, man. These people are fucked. But yeah, so you have it as a B+, Kestrel. So I just wanted to have you kind of start off, because I also know that animes like these, I'm not really the demographic either. So
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I watched this all when it first came out, which was like 2 months ago now. So it's not as fresh on my mind, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really well-structured, well-produced original story in an interesting time period and setting with a fully adult cast and a lot of variety of material ranging from, the passion of artistry to kind of the discrepancy between the upper and lower classes, and then, of course, the romance and the World War I history that they work into the drama, the perspective of kind of relationships between Japan and Europe at that point in time, and yeah, just the way that it kind of goes from very low stakes, where like artwork is the only thing that matters, to extremely high stakes, and then kind of the question of how much does what we're dedicating our lives to matter at this point in the world, because the world is blowing up, and what value does our artwork have now? So yeah, it just had a lot of different themes that I thought were well maintained and evolved as the story progressed. And yeah, just had a lot of interesting things to say, and I liked certainly the main group of characters, and there were a lot of tropes and archetypes, but they definitely got through some of the character development that, isn't necessarily unexpected in any way, but it's still satisfying to see it play out. So yeah, I enjoyed myself.
yeah, I think I would generally agree with a lot of what you said. I think this story was at its best when it was balancing the idea of art and pursuing it in this art college versus what was going on in global politics at the time. I think that is always a very interesting juxtaposition when you try to put like a romantic like plot in front of something of such a global mass scale that influences not only their individual lives but like the lives of humanity as a whole. That's also very interesting. I thought Kit sucked balls, so
I'm not surprised that you have that perspective.
yeah, no, he was awful and I hated him. We could not get over the fact that's like, why does everyone care about this fucking dude, man? Yeah, he's good at painting, but like he's so like ruthlessly aloof and self-centered and narcissistic and all this other stuff, and just so completely in his own environment, and everyone's like, we have to make sure we know where Kid is at all times and what could be possibly going on in his head. And I'm like, why the fuck do you care, man? Like, all these other people are cool. Dorothy was great. I loved her. Dorothy was my favorite character in the whole series because she knew, like, I felt she was always the most in tune with who she was and where she stood and how, for better or for worse, like how much mobility she sort of had. Like, one of my favorite moments in the show is near the end where they're talking about how Kit and the main girl, can't remember her name off the top of my head. Lily. Should probably be together because she clearly has feelings for him and stuff. And then she turns to Dorothy and says, well, I mean, it looks like you're in love with Joffrey, the red-haired guy. And then she just goes, yeah, I am. Which is a huge shock to Lily, but to nobody else. But it's because Dorothy knows she can't really be with him. It wouldn't work. Like, unfortunately, they're of two different socioeconomic strata, and they may not be very compatible in like a long-term relationship. And she acknowledges that, and it's sad, but I thought that was a very mature like moment for her that gave her character a lot of interesting things, like because she was always sort of flirty with him and kind of doting over him at the same time and stuff, and she's open about her feelings but not actively pursuing them, which is sad, but is what it is. Meanwhile, Kit just doesn't fucking tell anybody about anything he's doing, and everyone feels this pull to him. Like Lily, I get, sure, up until the end where that dude should have stayed fucking blowed up.
Damn.
But it was, I think it's, and this is why I say I'm not the core demographic, because Emily and myself were under the same impression. Like, this story is so much better, and Kid is so much more compelling as a landmark of Lily's time and her growth as a person, and the love that they could have had if, like, a more tragic like piece. Yeah. It makes it way better than Kit comes back, he was cool, their ship was lost, and then he fucking survived in the jungle and got bit by a snake and then got some insane disease and just all got better. Meanwhile, he drew and did art the whole. It was just so fucking it was so fucking airport novel by the end. Like it, and poor Shin. Bran, let me clue you in on this guy's Shin over here. So you remember when we were watching?
Is anyone planning to watch this, by the way? Before Dane spoils every plot
I'm not gonna remember what these people are.
To be fair, I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. So I don't think I'm gonna continue with it. Go ahead.
Okay, good.
Spill the tea.
So you remember our boy Gilbert, right?
Oh. Do I remember our boy Gilbert?
Yeah, exactly. I know. A stupid question. It was very ignorant of me to say, but I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
This show's got a Gilbert, my man.
Okay.
It's got a Gilbert. Cares for Lily, understands her plight, is an artist, allows her to be herself and pursue her freedoms, which as a woman in this time period, she probably wouldn't be allowed to under many other circumstances, especially because she's expected to carry on her family's business. He takes care of her once Kit is out of the story for a while when the war is starting. And then Kit comes back and Shin is like, we need to find Kit. And then he just lets Lily go off with him. Doesn't even fight. He just rolls over. I was like, what the fuck, man? They were going to get married. Shin bought a house. Shin bought a house for them. No. Yeah, that destroyed me. I was like, Shin, you got to at least do something. Like, you don't have to try to like hide Kit's presence in Japan from her or whatever, but you at least gotta like
put up a fight, my guy.
Yeah, 10 toes down and be like, you can go with Kit if you want, but there's a life here for you, and I can offer you all of these things, and I've loved you forever. But instead, he's just like, nah, you go back to England. It's cool. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Sounds like Timu Gilbert.
Yeah, yeah. Bilgert.
With anime taking that route with some of these characters, it's like the fuck. Okay, spoilers for a bazillion-year-old show at this point. Escaflowne's ending. Hello.
Oh,
holy
yeah,
shit!
man.
What the fuck, man? I'm like, what? That's just okay. These are the love of your life. I'm just gonna let them go without a fight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna defend Shin here. Because
Shin gets with Peter. That's what happens.
The thing is, Shin always knew that Lily was always in love with Kit, and then Kit showed up, and he knows that for the next 50 years that they're married, all she's going to be thinking about is Kit, and he'd rather fucking die than live through 50 years of my wife is just thinking about her old crush, who is out there somewhere, and she knows that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point, but you at least have to like fight. Like I acknowledge the point, but at least so another thing that happens real quick is Shin's gonna go back to Italy and do some more studying, and Lily wants to continue painting. Shin could have been like, Lily, come to Italy with me, and you can paint to your heart's content. You can do whatever you want. Like, I don't know, do anything at all. Like to at least put up some type of thing rather than just letting her go. Like, yeah, she's gonna be thinking about that crush for a long time, but you can't let that stop you from shooting your shot. Especially when you spent these 5 years setting it all up. And then Kit comes by and Lily turns him down and this other stuff, like, only to just go back on that decision entirely. Kit should have stayed fucking dead.
Damn.
I mean, the thing about Shin too is that yes, he is definitely like the martyr. He's always sacrificing his own happiness for everyone around him, and that's just his character. So the fact is, he didn't want to stay there. He wanted to go to Italy, and this was kind of his, get out of jail card, where he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I know you're gonna go chasing back after Kit anyway, so this means that I can go to Italy like I wanted to, and we're both happy." So yeah, he didn't get the girl, but he got his dream.
And then who shows up in Italy but Peter, which is why Peter is another character brand that is close friends with Shin, and then he just shows up out of nowhere in Italy for no fucking reason at the very end. I'm like, haha, it's because it's boys' night. But
that was in the cards all along. He was carrying on the secret romance with Peter.
Hell yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So that was like and I wouldn't have had as big of a problem with it if Kit was also more compelling as a character. Like, if I felt like there was a reason other than Lily just is enamored with his painting. Because he's got nothing else. He's got painting, and he's got a dead mom. And that's all he's got.
A lot of money, but he doesn't want.
Yeah, apparently. Okay. He doesn't have money.
Like you said,
he's the richest family in all of Britain at this point.
But as you said, they could never be together if he, was part of his family, really. He had to kind of give that up. Or else.
Yeah, a little bit. Or something. The show doesn't do a great job of determining what that is either. Other than Kit, like, takes over and then, I don't know, they just fuck off and go painting somewhere. But, yeah, the ending just rubbed me such, like, in the wrong way. But also, I get why the ending was the way it was. Like, that is the OTP of the show, whether you like it or not. And, yeah, they were going to be together the second that Kit was found to be alive. Like, it was sealed. That fate was fucking sealed. But, I wish it just would have been different. Maybe if it was like because I'm guessing, well, I don't know. I want to say it was probably not considered like a sign-in, but maybe it was. But if it was more of what I consider sign-in, then maybe the tragic part of the story would have held out a little longer, or they could have gone in that direction. But this is like very romance and all that stuff, so
yeah,
who's to say?
So, like, they don't necessarily have clear-cut demographics for original anime, because usually it's like, what magazine did the manga run in, and what is the demographic of that magazine? So based on that, it did have like a spin-off manga to promote it, like most original anime do, and that ran in Shonen Jump Plus, which, I mean, Shonen Jump Plus has a lot of stuff that's kind of outside of the normal shonen demographic. It definitely has female-oriented stuff and adult-oriented stuff. And the creator was the creator of Hanayori Dango, Boys Over Flowers, which is, a very famous shoujo manga. So that's kind of the pedigree that it has.
Oh, also, real quick. So, what's ironic a little bit is Shin wants to go study in Italy, and this is probably around 1921, I want to say. The 5-year gap, the start of World War One. You know what's going on in Italy in 1921?
Nothing good.
Mussolini is installing a fascist government, and Shin's gonna go there. He's fuck. I laughed at that part too.
All that fascist brutalist architecture though is gonna go kind of hard for him. So
Yeah, I laughed at that part too. I also, because Emily was a history major and stuff, so we also talked about they should do a time skip to see like what Lily and Kit's relationship is like circa like 1940. because of what's happening in the world at that point and the fact of where those two people come from, what could possibly be going on. But yeah, Shin going to Italy while Benito Mussolini is taking control with his fascist brown shirts is a fucking move.
That's a choice.
I mean,
that is a choice.
Basically, any story that takes place in the first half of the 20th century in Europe and Asia, there's no happy ending for those characters.
No.
I mean, yeah. It's like, yeah. The World War's coming for you, one way or the other.
One.
Yo, Joffrey got to open his pub and keep all of his limbs, so I think that's a pretty good ending for him, considering he wasn't a high enough level of aristocrat to avoid the trenches. So, good for him, man. Good for him. Yeah, I would give the show a B-.
Okay.
Well, you can go over to Dance 2.0 and say, hey, I want you to change the ending of Love Through a Prism so Kit stays dead, and it will generate you an AI version of that.
Yeah, and you know what else it would say? It'd be like, oh, the good version then, and then it will make it for me.
I mean, yes, because AI will always agree with you.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah,
You're right, but overall, yeah, I did like it. Sons of problems there, and I'm always glad we get original anime and stuff. It's also just more fun to bitch. So,
I just thought of something that was I thought of something that we missed on the news thing.
It's too late.
Oh no, I'll bring it up between show breaks.
Well, I mean, I think we're pretty good talking about this, unless, I mean, I'm pretty hoarse at the moment, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, I know you sound a little bit.
Yeah, so much rage, hate. What a fucking hater Kane is. Hate through a.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's really good. Yeah, that's good.
Honestly, I need at least one show like with this kind of that gives you this kind of vitriol every season. Because I mean, if everything else
is so good, I want everyone to watch it. It's so good. Okay, Caitlin watched all 20 episodes in one day, and then like a week or two later, started over from the beginning again.
Damn.
Whoa. Damn.
Does she like Kit?
Yeah, I mean, she. Man. You get it. You get the archetype that he is.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that
I do.
And yeah, he sucks at the beginning, no question.
Yo, he sucks totally.
Everyone loves him way too much, even though he sucks ass, for sure. But because of that, he's able to develop, and you've got the gap moe between how much he sucks at the beginning and the fact that he's almost a human being by the end. And so that feels like some valuable character development. But yeah, the formula in general, the audience, and you know that it's very effective at doing what it's trying to do.
Yo, I want that to be the box quote for this, for if it ever gets a Blu-ray, is Kit's almost a human by the end of it. Dash Kestrel Swift fandom post.
I'll take it.
Too bad it'll never get a physical release.
Yeah,
no.
Absolutely. Thanks, Netflix. Which only silver lining of the Paramount thing is, hey, at least another 20% of the media industry is not subject to the death of theatrical and home video.
Yeah, Bran, so the whole thing about vitriol towards shows used to be way more common out of me. I just stopped watching. I stopped watching garbage anime for fun. That's because fair. All it did was make me mad.
I think we all kind of tightened up the screws a bit on our watching. There's just not enough time in the day, but which is sometimes it's good to have sometimes it's good to have like one specific thing that you already know you're not going to enjoy. Like watching One Punch Man just to rant about it on here was worth my time.
Right. It's fine if you go in knowing that it's going to be a hate watch. It's really rough if you go in with expectations and just get disappointed. Which, of course, everyone was by One Punch Man Season 3, but I think by the time I've kind of forced you to be our sacrificial lamb, the writing was on the wall and everyone knew.
Yeah, it was.
I was gonna say before that we should ask an AI what the One Piece is, but then I recalled that Oda has written it on a piece of paper, stuck it in a treasure chest, and dropped it to the bottom of the sea. So that happened recently. So James Cameron,
go
find that shit. Yeah. If you happen to have a submarine and know the very vicinity of where Oda dropped that shit overboard, you may be able to find out what the One Piece is before everybody else.
It's just going to be a Polaroid of him giving you the finger.
That would be fucking hilarious. Somebody spent all that money and was commissioned like a sub to go down and some like the Alvin or something to go fucking find it, and it's just that.
Oh man, it's gonna be like Martin Shkreli. Martin Shkreli buying the Wu-Tang album.
That's awful. I think I heard he's selling it finally, but I don't know.
There was all sorts of shit that happened with that. I think I didn't follow it too close, but he's all butt mad about it now. So fuck him either way, regardless.
We're both like good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. So, how about we talk about the best show that's ever aired on television history?
Before we do that, just since we briefly went back to the news, I just noticed that Rurouni Kenshin guy is Watsuki and Act Age guy is Motsuki.
Oh no!
Huh?
Anyway.
Oh my god! Connecting all the dots.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the new season of Frieren. I'm gonna mainly pass it to you guys for now, but I will say that one of my friends just started watching it and is partway through the first season, and I was like, "This is the best anime I've ever watched." And I'm like, "It only gets better, friend.
Yeah,
it only gets better." So, yeah, Bran, take it away.
Sure. I was a bit, as someone who has not read the source material and just knowing going into the season it was going to be a little shorter. I was worried it would be a little not aimless, but just like there wouldn't be as much at stake, or there wouldn't be enough of a central pull to this season. I thought it would be mainly transitional in nature, but it is nice that this season has brought into focus the Northern Territory, and then specifically exploring the more ravaged side of the country or wherever they're in. But yeah, it's interesting seeing because everyone loves the episodes that are they're just kicking it in the city, going on dates, having a fun time. But it's cool that the stakes feel like they're slowly ramping up again with the demons in the Northern Plateau and the what's seemingly brewing in the background, an all-out either war or something is gonna happen. So yeah, I'm excited because I don't know where exactly. I mean, we have only 4 episodes left from recording, and I don't know where that's going to end, but I feel like it's going to end on shit's about to go down is how it feels. So I'm excited, and at the same time dreading the fact that it's going to ramp up to an amazing tension, and then it's going to be all right, see you in 2-3 years. But it's been fun. I've been really enjoying this season.
Yeah, so all the volumes in English are on my shelf. But since I started with the anime, and it's my favorite anime, I just read up to where the first season covered, and then when the season ends, I'll read up to when it covers. But yeah, it seems to me, based on the unusual runtime of the season and the way that they scheduled the last season to end exactly at the end of an arc, I would guess that this arc that just started will only be 5 episodes of content. Because otherwise, why would you make like a 10-episode season after a 28-episode season? So that's my hope anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, of course, Frieren was always kind of went from the very episodic, more kind of navel-gazing maybe material to the more shonen action arc-based structure, and that first season happened to end right at the end of that. That arc was literally longer than this entire season. And then this one starts off right with just, we've got 2 or 3 manga chapters per episode. We're just hanging out, having fun. Nothing really matters. And it's pretty much divided perfectly in between 5 episodes of that, and then a week off, and then 5 episodes of, okay, shit, here's a real arc going on now, and there's a big bad demon, and we spent a whole episode just trying to figure out who it was, and it's going to be this big threat. So yeah, it's definitely like bifurcated pretty strongly between those 2 extremes. But yeah, I mean, I think it still does everything that it does very well, and I'm glad to see that it still has every piece intact, and that we're not just like straight on to just all arcs all the time. So
yeah. It's funny because before this second half started, this is gonna be a weird comparison because I know you guys were very lukewarm on this specific show I'm gonna bring up, but I was worried it would be something along the lines of the Ranking of Kings spinoff, where it would feel kind of like a non-sequester, just like we're having fun, slice of life stuff, but it doesn't really add to any of the ongoing overarching stuff. But I'm glad that, I enjoyed the first half of the season immensely, but it's nice that we are kind of like honing back into like some of the bigger shit going on, because it has felt like there haven't really been any stakes, or I haven't felt at any moment that like the main party is really in any imminent danger or anything. So it's exciting that I think we're going to get to a point where they're going to be challenged again. Should be cool.
Like, honestly, I don't care in this series if the main characters are ever in danger. Because I think whether it's, going on a boring date around town or like fighting the last remaining super demon, what it's getting at is always just character development, reflection on lessons learned from the past, and the way that, these characters just work through these feelings and relationships that mirror reality. And I think that is at the core of everything it does, whether it's complete slice of life or complete action. So yeah,
that's fair.
I would be as upset if this next arc was just like pure shonen battle bullshit. Because every time we get demons, there's like cool action, great, whatever. But there's also like a really deep philosophy of these kind of sociopathic predators who have this uncanny half humanity to them, that's kind of like AI in a way, or like the others in Pluribus, right? It's like this artificiality to them that they specifically use for malicious purposes.
Like that specific one, that grovel that guy's feeding is like, I have a child, and he's like, oh, really?
Right,
like,
which we saw in the first
that
season.
one before.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, you make a good point, just because I do enjoy, especially that most recent episode, the like test proctor guy that they are teaming up with. It's cool that we get kind of the backstory of he's just like so hardened from, fighting the demons that, I mean, this was like the town he grew up in that he had to kind of like distance himself emotionally from because like that shit just got destroyed. And it's just like really interesting the different way the characters interact with their trauma from like with him and what's his face, they were both kind of relating about the demons destroying their hometowns and like how it affects them differently.
Yeah, and they, in his case, of course he tries to kind of put on the really strong front and not show any emotions, which kind of mirrors how Frieren was at the beginning of the story. And he's kind of at the point, I feel, that he's facing that challenge that ultimately broke Frieren with Himmel's death. That like, okay, yeah, I can't keep up this facade anymore. This is the straw. And the fact that both him and Stark have this experience, it goes back to we're talking about not only timely for our discussion of World War I and II, but also current state of the world. The fact that no matter how many wars to end all wars we have, there's always more wars. So, the story of all of these Dragon Quest adjacent series is you kill the Demon King and everyone lives happily ever after throughout the land. But in fact, both of these people were born in different generations, both decades after the Demon King was defeated, and they both have had their entire lives destroyed by remaining demons. So it's just goes to show that no matter, there's no real like heroic solution to the conflict of the world. It will just continue to cause tragedy and trauma for every subsequent generation, no matter what.
Yeah. And I think to like flip the balance on the scale back to the like lesser the more laid back episodes, I think one of my other favorites was the booze, the like ancient booze that they were looking for. And I guess just because I wanted to kind of walk back my point of like, it's not like I'm needing the conflict, because you're right, I do just enjoy the like character development going on and the like the lessons learned from that. And I really loved the kind of lesson at the end of that one, that it's like, yeah, she knew all along that like the booze sucked, and that's kind of why like they never really tried to like uncover it. But it's the friends you make along the way to get the booze that matter. So
yeah, but like, she have stopped him from wasting another 100 years of his life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it gave him purpose or something. I don't know.
But then when he found it and she was actively spending the next month getting him to it, couldn't she at some point in that month be like, well, maybe I shouldn't stick around for this month because, in fact, sorry, I didn't tell you 80 years ago, but this is a bust.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Frieren works in mysterious ways.
Yes. What even believed her?
Right. That might be her thought, but
yeah, he was in too deep by that point.
Yeah.
At that point, even if he acknowledged and believed her that it was fucking just dishwater in those bottles, he would have wanted to get it anyway.
Yeah.
It's the picture of the guy digging for diamonds. Exactly. It's like he's not going to stop right before he hits diamonds.
Right, exactly. Which is funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Episode before.
There was only 2 ways that could have gone. Is that Ty made that shit into the most amazing drink ever, or it was still going to be shit. Yeah. Like when I read that chapter, I expected it. I'm like, oh, they're going to find it and then find out it aged into this amazing thing or something. And they're like, no, this tastes horrible. It's like, okay, it's like that wine they found at the bottom of the ocean. And then some people found a different bottle of wine at the bottom of the ocean and hoped it would be as weird as the other wine they found, and it was horrible. They shouldn't have drank it. Yeah.
And I love that he was like, well, I'm going to make everyone in town drink this stuff too. That was good.
It is literally the wine found at the bottom of the ocean. Like, this tastes like shit. You've got to try it.
Just to say you did. It's like Chicagoans in Melort.
Yeah. Yo, that's at a bar in my town now. They have like a sign up and everything. There, yeah, you get a hat.
Got Melort.
Yeah, they do, and then you can put a hat on that is like, I did the Melort shot, and my one friend did it. He went, yeah, it's the worst thing I've ever tasted, but I mean,
so
it's
funny.
Melort, and I was like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. I'm not gonna begrudge you for it. Everyone's been in one of those situations where they know the experience is gonna be lackluster, but it's about having the experience and then like bitching about it with friends and family as a shared experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm definitely with Kestrel on the whole. There could be no like real danger for them for the most part, and the show would still be incredible because of all of the parts that make it a whole, and the thing you would miss with shonen battle stuff if it goes that way is I believe the amount of montages would drop significantly.
That's true.
And I love them, so we can't be having any of that shit.
That's fair. What would I do if I didn't see them like crossing a log in a wide shot?
Yeah,
and then what's remarkable? What's remarkable is that the first episode of the season with no montages is the one where they literally just spent a month doing magic to get to this booze. Like, that was the perfect opportunity for a montage. But instead, they're just like, well, that was a quick month.
Yeah.
They made up for it later. Just jamming them montages in those episodes. So good. But yeah, it's still my favorite. It's my favorite, though. I think another show that's airing this season that tests that a little bit, if only because you can't really compare them, and that's something that I always struggle with. And that's the Journal with Witch.
Yeah,
that is airing, because I love Journal with Witch a lot right now, but I mean, how do you even compare the two shows? Like, to be like, one Frieren's better than that, or vice versa. There isn't a single goddamn thing they have in common except like people are in them.
Yeah, they both. Yeah, like there's a witch in the title, which is magic in a sense.
And it deals with grief, but one is is teenage grief and an immediate death of a family member, and the other is a potential romance person that died 26 years ago, and all this other stuff. So it's really tough to compare them. But I'm glad to see you guys like it as well.
Yeah, picking this show up between our last podcast and now was definitely the best move I made this season, because I didn't mean to, but like everything I was watching was pretty action oriented, and this show has brought a nice balance to what I've been watching. So yeah, great show. Lots of good introspection and lots of good character dynamics. I really like the dynamic of the main two in a way that's like pretty I like the approach of it, just because like shows like this can sometimes be a little melodramatic. Like this show could very easily have the daughter be like way more just like freaking out at all times, being like, I hate you, you're not my real mom, like blah blah blah. But I like how she has slowly been like, the valve of her trauma has slowly been opening, because like at first she's just like sleeping around, she's kind of like aloof.
She's not sleeping around, she's just sleeping.
Sleeping, sorry, the wording's wrong. The sleeping constantly and just like aloof, and now she's like, Asa has been slowly kind of like not like growing into her emotions, but she's just like it's like the more she's realizing the situation she's in, the more confused about it she's getting, because she's just like frustrated with the situation that's been thrust upon her, and like her inability to do anything about it or feel like she needs to like change or be someone to like overcome this, vast desert she's been dropped into.
Yeah. I absolutely love how realistic it is in a lot of those pursuits. I mentioned it a little bit, and I think Mark and I talked about it a bit as well. The previous episode we discussed the show, but so many of the behavioral patterns exhibited by Asa and Makio and some of the other characters are just truly like feel grounded and relatable. Like even down to in I think it was episode 8, so not the newest one, but the one previous. Asa is skipping school as, she tries to process things, a small act of rebellion for the adults that she feels don't care about her, expressing, her loneliness and just kind of isolating herself and really being at a dead end. And she just goes to the boba shop like that they normally go to. And at first, the ex-boyfriend guy is surprised that she would go there, but it's just like, yeah, most kids, if they skip school, like I skipped school once when I was a kid and all we did was just play video games like we would any other time. It's just you're now slightly rebellious about it. Like even down to that portion, like she didn't skip school and then, get drunk in an alleyway somewhere or whatever. She just, she just did the same stuff that she would normally do. And I like that it really kind of gets all of those things. I don't want to say correct, because obviously not everyone's experience is the same, and you can't, put a blanket on the human condition like that. But it just feels so much more real than what you were saying, Bran. If the show was like Asa's constantly breaking down and they're fighting all the time, you just kind of slowly see those cracks start to form. And you also see them in her and Makio's relationship, where at first Makio was like a cool aunt and maybe a substitute, like the next mom's substitute. But now, like, they're living together for a little while, and Asa's getting kind of annoyed at what Makio doesn't provide that a mom, quote unquote, should. And it's putting some tension on their relationship. And of course, Makio doesn't really know how to respond either, because she's not like a hyper well-adjusted person either. So yeah, it's so good. And then anytime Asa tries to say something to Makio to hurt her feelings, there's that like smirk that Asa has, but you can tell it's like but it's a really nervous, like panicked smirk.
Yeah,
like,
it's a facade.
She's just saying it to hurt someone because she's hurt and doesn't know how to express it. So there's a momentary glimpse of, I'm going to say this thing to shit on her or whatever, but you can tell she doesn't mean it. Like already, she's just being a teenager.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would never have thought about it, but just because you started by saying that it has nothing in common with Frieren, it does make me think about not only the grief, but kind of, the subject of guardianship and surrogate parent from a person who is not necessarily equipped to be a parent, and the ways that the child is more mature in some ways, or more well-adjusted, and has to kind of take care of the parent figure, even though the parent figure is in many ways obviously being the more guardian-like one. So it's got a little bit of overlap.
Yeah. I was being facetious in a certain level. I was going to say something about Makio. I really like that. I think despite her not being probably the best mom for Asa in the moment, I think she's the best kind of like character for Asa to be around or to bounce off against while she processes these things. If only because like Makio knows that Asa just says stuff to try to hurt her and doesn't really acknowledge it more than saying that. Like, because Makio doesn't process emotions very well, but is very conscious of those emotions, I think it gives a sounding board to Asa. And when Asa was mad that Makio wouldn't just lie to her and tell her what she wanted to hear to make her feel better, I know she doesn't feel that in the moment, nor would anybody, but like, that's what you want. Like, you want someone who's going to be honest with you in those moments, even if it's painful, rather than just telling you whatever's going to make you stop crying or make you not upset anymore, because that's not, especially in a situation like this, that's not really fixing any problems. It's just putting a band-aid over them. So while there's a lot Makio could do better as a surrogate mother, I think their personalities gel together really well for Asa's healing as well, as long as Makio has the energy to do it.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Yeah, it is. I do like how they present the difference in the way they deal with these things, because like Makio is a very insular person that's like, I love being alone, bro. If I could sit in my room all day typing, like that's my happy place. Whereas like Asa's like, no, I need attention, dude. Their back and forth is great. And like you said, I like that Makio isn't a sounding board. She isn't going to just like placate Asa and tell her what she wants and just like do what she thinks her mother would do or anything like that. She just kind of says it straight up and, lets her process it on her own, and also giving her those not barriers, but like show her the line in the sand, literally, where it's like, okay, like you're free to feel however you want about how I'm trying to be your guardian, and you are like free to think these things, and you are free to like live your life how you want. So, and I think that was what has led to the most recent episode, where it's seemingly that Asa was kind of babied most of her life and very pampered in a way. And I thought it was really interesting learning the bits we've gotten about like her mom's own faults and like her shortcomings as a mother. And now without her in Asa's life, she doesn't have that, the golden goose to kind of that's been keeping her on rails her whole life. And all the people around her now are telling her, you have the agency to become something. But because of the way she was raised, she feels kind of trapped, where she's like, how do I do that? How do I become something? How do I know what I want in this world? And I thought the most recent episode, I loved the way they bounced between perspectives and conversations and different moments in this one day, where she's seeing the conversation between Makio and Kasamichi. She's having a conversation with her friend Emily, and just like, and when the other author came over to talk with Makio, just like getting all these different perspectives that to her aren't natural, because the way she was raised is just kind of in conflict with the way these people live their lives. And it's kind of breaking down this barrier of her understanding of how she should be living her life. And now she's got a blank slate, and it's hard for her to find that first step, which is, I feel like, why she's envisioned herself in this vast desert, because it's just like, there's no sign of life in any direction, and you kind of got to make that path yourself. The most recent episode, I feel like, brought that theme around really well.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting subject that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but it makes total sense. Like, yeah, if you have an overbearing parent, then that's bad in a lot of ways, but you're so conditioned to having everything laid out for you, then suddenly freedom is the most terrifying thing. So having to suddenly make decisions for yourself is kind of the biggest problem that she's running into right now. So can definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I forgot the exact quote, but the Makio's author friend being like, "Oh, you've struck gold. That's like the big question for humanity." It's like, what do you want to be? What are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And it's funny because she lashed out because she very clearly doesn't know what she's supposed to do. And I guess she's putting that pressure on herself to figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah, because she's always felt so pressured to perform, and now she's surrounded by these free-spirited bohemians who are like, yeah, do whatever you want, feel however you want, love whoever you want, be creative, be spontaneous. And she's like, yeah, that is not in my programming.
Yeah, or like the therapist, where it's like, we can talk about whatever, and she's like,
exactly.
What do you mean? Like, talk about whatever. It's like, tell me what to say.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting scene too, because that is how it goes. Like when you see that most of the time they let you lead the conversation, but if you've never had to think in that way, well then you don't know what to do, and then that can lead to a lot of frustration, especially because it's like, well, you're the one who's supposed to like guide me, counsel me. Why am I the one coming up with the topics of conversation?
You're supposed to fix me.
Yeah, I think those are really good points about the freedom being more isolating than anything. I do wonder though if Makio kind of needs to find more compromise of that lifestyle with Asa, if only because the hooky episode is a good example. When Asa gets caught at the boba shop, she almost looked like disappointed that she wasn't scolded because there's just no structure.
Yeah.
And when you test the boundaries of authority like that, I think it's also because you're trying to find where the line is, and almost like, for lack of better phrasing here, like get punished. Like figure out where the line is and try to find some structure to exist in, so at least you know where the walls kind of are. But the way that Makio is just given Asa this almost complete freedom, like I think even Makio was like, hey, if you need a break from school, just tell me. Which I agree with generally, but I'd also think that Asa could take breaks whenever she wants and Makio wouldn't actually do anything about it. And that's the problem, is you got to find some compromise there. Like, you don't have to be a hard ass, but I know she then kind of drew the line of like, well, you can't lie to me about it. It's like, I do not know if that's hard enough in a way. If it's like, I know you don't want to infringe upon her, but also she's still a child. Like, you have to set some boundaries that are hard, if only because she's still just growing up and needs them. Like, she can't be expected to figure that out. And you can give her the freedom that you want, but like, man, at least like scold her for skipping school and then lying about it and being and you know, give her the fucking business for a little bit. And it's weird, but sometimes, like, I know when I was a teenager I would do that sometimes. Like, you do something with the thought that you're going to get punished, almost, because it's like, I'm challenging you, what is your response? And then when there is no response, if anything, it just kind of makes you more upset.
She's trying to alpha Makio.
Yeah.
I think
mog on her.
It's definitely interested in having that conversation that there's no real correct way to parent. There are many incorrect ways to parent, but no matter what you do, no matter what end of the spectrum or where you fall in the middle, you don't know how it's going to affect the particular person, especially when they spent 15 years being parented a completely different way, and you spent those 15 years not parenting anyone. So it comes down to, you know, the inherent conflict between people's nature and how the one form of upbringing can conflict with another form, and when they're so diametrically opposed like that, it just creates this dissonance that feels wrong and makes you feel like you have no sense of stability. So yeah, the fact is there's no correct answer, because how strict should you be? How free should you be? And the answer is it totally depends on the person in question, and with the relationship between them having not existed before now, and Makio herself being a very socially awkward person, it makes sense that they have a lot of difficulty in navigating that. And the fact that her mother was so much the opposite of how Makio lives her life.
Yeah, the perfect example of that from the newest episode, because Asa quite literally brought that up to Kasamichi, because she was like, hey, don't you think she should be a little more strict sometimes about some things? And he was like, well, just like from my own experience, I never thought that, like, creating like strict rules like that is like a good form of parenting, or like a good way to go about, like, leading someone. So yeah, it's a delicate balance that, like you said, there really is no right answer, and it kind of depends person to person.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny because in a sense, Asa is in this situation where now she has no restrictions. It's the perfect situation, right? And she's mad that it's too perfect. And in the last episode, you see the scene of when Makio dumped Kasamichi, and her friends were like, why? And she's like, he's too perfect. Like, you seek out some form of conflict. If it feels too smooth, then it's like we inherently rebel against that as humans.
Yeah.
If there is no challenge, what's the point?
Yeah. But yeah, I like your recontextualization of the desert metaphor of, like, not only is it isolation from feeling so alone from having lost her whole world, but feeling so overwhelmed by just the vastness of what is now available to her with no clear path in sight.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's tough for poor Asa out there in them streets.
I really do be.
It do, yep. All right, so let's see. Where do we want to travel to next? I don't know if we have any more anime that's about grief.
Enough grief in reality right now.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, I would love to hear why you dropped Sentence to Be a Hero and why you put it in all caps.
I don't know. It seemed right to me, but not too much about it. I went into it because there was a lot of hype around the first episode, because it was very beautifully animated. Really good fight choreography and like great spectacle. I just like very quickly, I think, lost some steam on it, just because like I said, already a very heavy action season for me, and B, it very quickly to me felt a bit standard in terms of, like, moody guts type main character who gets fucked over by society and has to, like, slave away. And then one of my least favorite tropes is like the goddess with him. It's like praise me because I am such a perfect being. Like, I am the goddess who will make you the hero of all heroes. And it's just, I'm sick of those characters, man. Like, I could not stand her for more than like a minute. So I dropped it only like maybe the 3 episodes in. So not too much else on it besides, like, yeah, the first episode was a pretty good spectacle, but like, there was nothing below the surface really doing it for me, and I had plenty of good food to eat with the other shows I was watching. So swapping that for Journal with Witch was easy, in my opinion.
All right, Castro, now tell him why he's a troglodyte.
No, I get it. It's definitely...
Boo!
I mean, okay, I guess in the same sense that, like, I would defend Love Through Prism. I think they're just, you got to know what you're getting into. They're very good at being what they want to be. and satisfying those itches. And yeah, Sentenced to be a Hero has the unfortunate pattern of an incredibly strong first episode that nothing else was going to live up to. So in that sense, I definitely understand the disappointment. I think, Love Through Prism, I think, it got much deeper in its drama as it went on. This one, it just really wanted to get everyone invested in that first 47 minutes or whatever. And then after that, it still looks great. Like, Studio Kai is a really incredible studio for just making things look way better than they have any right to be. But actually, maybe I'm confusing them. I'm confusing them with another studio. Yeah, this is actually not that usual for them, actually. Because I was thinking Studio Bind, that's the one that I was like, this is a very similar aesthetic to them. They're the Mushoku Tensei studio.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, totally different studio. So yeah, no, I was impressed by this one. But yeah, after the first episode, it's like, okay, you kind of know the tropes that you're working with now. It's kind of an interesting spin on, the very loose kind of Dragon Quest framing, where you have your hero and your demon king and your goddess and all that kind of stuff, but in totally different context, and everything means something totally different than it would mean in any other series like that.
Yeah, I love that hero is a derogatory term in this
exactly.
world.
It's the worst punishment you can have as being a hero. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting as a slightly different take on it, but I get that it's definitely working with familiar tropes in some of the edgier dark fantasy of like the 2000s, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a bad show. I was just in the process of like trimming the fat of what I wanted to be watching this season. Like it fell on the chopping block.
Now, I definitely go into every episode being like, all right, is this the one where it's going to become amazing again? So far, not so much. But I'm never like, I want to stop watching it.
Not quite at that threshold yet.
I want to get around to watching it, just for the action slop that it is.
Hero slop.
Let's see. Well, because there is so much action on the list here for this season. Luckily, a lot of it is good. Why don't we shift a bit and talk about some Hell's Paradise for a few minutes here, because I think the three of us are watching that as well, though I haven't seen the newest episode, so I'm a little bit behind. Not that I really give a shit if you guys talk about what happened in the new one. It's not going to stop me from watching it, so.
Yeah. I will say the newest episode was one of my favorite of the season so far. Just like some more development with the just like the big brutish samurai guy. But besides that, yeah, the season's also been like, I really enjoyed this show for its premise and like a lot of the mystique around like what could be on this island, like all the crazy like possibilities of the crazy creatures and everything like that. And I feel like it's lost some of the mystique and has kind of shifted towards like the shonen power system has become more of the focus with like, what is Tao and how does it work and how are we going to use it to fight these deities? And it's like, oh well, Taos have like different properties that like some are weak against others, and like that stuff isn't really doing it for me. But I feel like the show has kept a consistent visually, it's been more consistent, I feel like, than the first season was. So like it's looked great. And yeah, I don't know. This one's, kind of like middle of the road for me. But now that they're like in the like fight with the big baddies, I feel like some of the characters are getting some much needed time to shine, because for a while I was like, all right, it kind of feels like a ragtag group right now that, like, I get they have to kind of work together, but now we actually start getting some like, oh, okay, now this character might be worth kind of like paying attention to.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I agree with they spent a little too much time for me as well on the inevitable elemental focused wood beats, rock, and water, loses to wood, etc., where it's like I liked it better when it was just like it just was. It's just a thing. You don't like Tao is just, I'm good at it and you're not. And then that was it. It made things simpler than having to worry about who has which version, and that does kind of trip into the power system that I don't think this show necessarily needed, because it has so many other things going for it, with like body horror and all the weird religious imagery and the monsters and all that stuff. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think that paradigm of, wow, what a really interesting and original premise, and then inevitably, all right, and now we're going to talk about how our version of our energy works and how the different powers conflict with each other and how each person has some different take on that, is just every Jump manga ever, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it has looked really good, and some of the fights have been really interesting to watch because they feel like you're watching an animated version of, like, I know this is a tired-ass comparison, but like a Dark Souls type fight. Like this giant monstrous being that can like fucking one-hit KO you if you're not careful is interesting, just because you don't, like, at least in the action anime I watch, you don't see that super often, because it's hard to make like a prolonged fight when you have such like size disparity between characters and the ability of these one shots. So it's easier just to make them somewhat similar in size and strength, so then you can do your inevitable Dragon Ball Z like speed animation. But those have been very good. And yeah, I've also liked some of the character background reveals or some other things, like how the one little executioner guy who's like really science-based in a very concerning eugenics way, and I think he was like a pirate or something, right? He has the big beard, or like a weapons dealer or whatever. They're fighting the monster, and all three of them acknowledge that they're all fucking psychopaths.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, they know what they are. So glad there's no we're not trying to get by on any dishonesty regarding morality in this fight.
Yeah, I love that the pirate dude, like, his whole thing is like, I don't know what he wants to do more, like fight the Tencent or fuck it. Like,
yeah,
which,
like
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Porque no los dos.
Yeah. I will say I have been consistently happy with the designs of like the Tencent's like super forms. I think they're really cool and creepy. Like you said, almost in like a Dark Souls kind of like, what the fuck am I looking at sense. Like the one that Gabimaru is fighting that has that almost like flower knight helmet that closes and opens in a really like freaky manner really quickly. Really cool design, and easily one of the things I look forward to the most as they continue to fight these creatures.
Yeah, the fact that Mappa is doing this and Jujutsu Kaisen in the same season is kind of insane. My guess is that the timeline was a little more spread out, but Mappa's not one to let its employees have life, so
no. If anything, this is a pretty lax schedule for them.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the fact that both series are holding up to this degree. Hopefully bodes well, or bodes very terribly.
Yeah, I'm wondering how far into the manga we are at this point.
Mhm.
If only because so much of it feels like, I don't know if it feels like it's like approaching the finish line, because we've just had, that group of all the other executioners show up, and they're the fucking SEAL Team 6 up in here. But they're fighting all these Tenzen, and it's just like, where do you go from here unless this is just gonna be it? And we're like halfway through the manga, but the second half is just the volleyball anime shit. Haikyuu. We're just Haikyuu in this bitch, and everything is like takes place in one match now for like the rest of the show.
Yeah. I mean, from what I understand, it wasn't that long of a series. I think there's about 13 volumes of manga. So I would expect there to maybe be another season after this one, but I could see it like the third season maybe being it, but I'm not really fully sure.
This is the one Jump manga you didn't read, huh?
Yeah, no, it was one of the few in that era when it was coming out where it was like, how did I miss this train?
Gotta read all the Fujimoto assistants, come on.
Yeah, I did read his follow-up manga that got canceled after like 15 chapters, so that was a bummer.
Oh yeah, which one was that?
It was called like Asaimon or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that one was funny because it kind of felt like Chainsaw Man light in a way. But yeah, he tried.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it, and one of my friends is watching it. He actually didn't realize it was back on current, and I was gonna say back on the air, which I guess is right. He didn't realize that the new season was out and has been getting caught up and is enjoying it as well. But it's not quite as good as that original season, but it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah. Again, I think it's something inevitable you run into with most Jump series, is that they kind of have a really good hook, and then the way to continue for not that long in this case, but usually try to be as long as possible, is to kind of follow the formula.
Yeah, I feel like just timeline-wise, when this was in the magazine, we were very much in the like Jujutsu Kaisenification of Jump, where like every other manga was trying to be like a, dark cursed arts type beat. So,
And then it got the Jujutsufication in the anime as well, by being done by the same crew.
True. Very true.
Indeed. Alrighty. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about in particular? I know we've got lots of other things on the list, and they're all of general quality, so I've just been kind of picking and pecking here.
Is there anything you want to talk about, Kate? Any of your stuff?
Not in particularly. I think I already said my piece about Holy Grail Eras. It's good. Yeah. It's still going too fast for everything it's trying to cover. I wish it had been given more time and a larger budget, but isn't that everything? So, I'm behind on To Your Eternity, which is impressive because they were essentially off for a month, and I still am behind on it. And I'm behind on this casual stuff I wanted to watch, and having the 3 days with no power did not help the situation at all. So that's where I am.
Was there I feel like I only know about this stuff because like they start dropping like trailers and like the OPs on YouTube, but was there just like a new batch of like Netflix anime that released as well? Because I think the new season of Baki just started or dropped. It's probably the whole season. That's usually how they do Baki, but I want to catch up on that. It's definitely on my radar.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Netflix stuff coming out in these weeks, because like next week is live action One Piece. The week after that is or I forget where Beastars lies in there, but there's Beastars, One Piece, and Steel Ball Run all within the next few weeks as well.
It's fucking terrifying that we still do not really know what Steel Ball Run's like, what's happening with it.
What it
like,
is.
I think they are doing that on purpose because they're probably afraid that they're like, yeah, we know we're not doing what everyone is telling us we should be doing, but so like I'm expecting the worst so that I am not too butthurt. I'm gonna be butthurt, but I'm just trying to like brace for impact that we're gonna get batches and no new opening and endings, and I'm gonna be a sad guy. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we know we're getting one 48-minute episode to start with, right? So
yeah, first stage. I think that's what everyone's freaking out about. They're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that
mean? Kane, you said you were reading it right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to finish it before it starts, but I believe I'm at least far enough that like this first season won't cover everything.
Okay.
Depending on again the structure and release.
I was gonna say, without saying too much, where are you in it?
I think they just finished the second stage and are going into the third stage. So, they just finished fighting like the guy with the hooks, chain hook guy.
Oh, okay.
I think the manga just calls him Pork Pie Hat Kid.
Pork Pie Hat Kid. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's like maybe 7 volumes in. Something
ahead of me then.
Something around there.
Pork Pie Hat Kid. What a love it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the show for sure. I also like that it's a fresh start of sorts. So
yeah.
People can you can jump right in. I know some are like, well, you won't know the characters. It's like, I don't really think you need to.
No, I mean, it's really just like Easter eggs, if anything. It's like, whoa, that character's named after someone from a previous one, or like,
right.
You know. You should watch the rest of JoJo or read it, but you can just start watching it here.
Yes.
Sure.
It's like Gundam.
Yeah.
This one is just like a new Gundam universe. Yes, you'll get the Char references, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, this is the Char.
Yes, they can't help themselves. Dio's gonna show up, but
Dio is Char.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Basically.
But yes, I really don't want people to make people think that you need to watch the first 6 parts to watch Steel Ball Run. Really want people to just watch Steel Ball Run. Assuming that it is, of course, a good adaptation.
Yeah.
And not a nightmare.
Oh, God.
Really can't wait to see how they're going to handle all of the horses.
You know, either way, it'll make for good content for the podcast. Because if we, God forbid, we end up in the timeline where the Steel Ball Run anime sucks, this podcast is going to go on is going to burn down. We're going to burn down the house.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Berserk, it's happened.
Oh, clank, clank, clank.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
everything that could ever have happened wrong with Berserk happened wrong with Berserk.
Yeah.
I don't know if that last Berserk adaptation did it, but I'm just going to say that it pioneered the nippleless boob.
Oh, that's been going on for a long time.
Yeah. I couldn't remember, but I remember them doing the whole, like, I think it was an orgy scene or whatever, and everyone just looked like mannequins.
Yeah, that's just been anime for a long time. That goes way back.
Yeah.
Evangelion was my first no nipple boob anime, but it's definitely existed for longer than that.
should get an article up on the website about the genesis of the no nipple boob in anime.
Yeah. Top 10 no nipple boobs in anime.
There's got to be some pun to be made when I just said Evangelion and you call it the Genesis.
Nipple Genesis. I don't know. Let's
no genitals Evangelion.
That's good.
Excellent. Get that to Yoko Taro. Quick.
Oh, he's on it. That's for sure.
I don't know. The wildest thing about no nipples is the fact that so many dudes have no nipples either. It's like, yeah, that's just
that's gender equality.
Yeah, it is. See, at least everybody, no nipples on anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing I was going to say about Hell's Paradise. Like Ron.
Oh yeah.
Draw the nipples, you cowards.
That has to be for the Blu-ray edition. That in Japan costs you
$8,000. You have to go to the island of Hell's Paradise to acquire it.
You have to get the elixir of life, eternal youth.
Oh, good stuff.
Alrighty. We're getting pretty close to time here, so last call for anything else on the list real quick before we kick it over to our finishing touches.
I'll just say, because I don't know if I've ever talked about it much on the pod, but it's the final season of Golden Kamuy, and this last season has been really good. This story is amazing. I know the adaptation is like, okay, it doesn't like always look the best. And I know a lot of people were turned away from the very first episode because of a wonky CGI bear. But literally, besides that wonky CGI bear, it's been a pretty decent adaptation. And I think to myself all the time, if I had fully like read this before watching it, it could easily be in my like top 10 manga of all time, just because the story is that good. And I'm really happy to say that the final season has been like ramping to the conclusion of the story so well. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. So that's also up there on my list this season.
Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Sold. Excellent. All right. So
Bran and I will talk about Fate at some point.
Yeah. There's going to be a second core of this, right? Because I feel like the first core of this is just a lot of deliberation and like, setting. It's like a chessboard. Everyone's like setting up for their plays. So like, it's really good. It's just like kind of hard to talk about even to the latest episode. It's like, yeah, there's like a lot of stuff happening, but I don't know. It's good. It's just, it's kind of hard to talk about.
Right. It's like a 1-core season, and they're still introducing new characters every episode, like 9 episodes in.
Yeah. No, yeah, for real. It's about as confusing as, the standard Fate show. So par for the course.
We'll talk about this more later, but it's a Fate show plus the creator of Bakano and Durara.
Yeah.
So many characters, so many storylines, so much chaos.
That makes so much sense. I forgot about that. That really adds up.
That's a really good fit for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Yoko Taro doing Evangelion. It's like that's a really good fit for that.
The circle, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Does anybody have any recommendations before we give out the socials and call it a night?
It's one of those. I had so many recommendations, I actually had to write them down so I wouldn't forget any kind of episodes.
Let's go.
So I have just about all the categories that I might normally cover, except manga for some reason. No manga, no light novels, no books. Not about reading around here. What we do have for some anime releases this month, we've got a couple of very similar, I guess, releases. We have The Eminence in Shadow Season 2 Limited Edition Blu-ray, and Solo Leveling Arise from the Shadow Season 2 limited edition Blu-ray. So I got the first season limited edition of both of those, and they're both really nice releases, so I'm looking forward to these ones as well. And then
Jinmu supremacy.
Yeah. And like, have any of you watched any of Eminence in Shadow?
My friend tried showing it to me for a little while ago because he enjoyed it a lot and said, like, I think he told me if you liked, what was it, the regular Magic High School's protagonist, like, you're gonna love this guy.
Well, Eminence in Shadow is a lot more tongue-in-cheek, so it's almost like it could be a parody of Solo Leveling. So, yeah, anyway, 2 season 2s of Shadows on limited edition Blu-rays this month. And then for games, as you know, I am very bad at playing games.
I was going to say, game recommendations from Kestrel? That's crazy.
I know, but I don't always play games, but when I do, they are decades-old generic JRPGs. And I've been working my way through Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake.
Nice.
So I'm on 2 right now, and then I'm going to go to 3, which they did release first. Chronologically, it's first. But then they also just released Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, which is not the like HD 2D aesthetic. It's a kind of modern 3D aesthetic. And I've heard really good things about that too, so I'll try to get to that after 3, whenever that is, a few months down the line. And then also, it was the 30th anniversary of Pokemon a few days ago, and they released the remakes of the original Red and Green, Fire Red and Leaf Green on Switch. So that is going to be what I play after I get through all the Dragon Quests, assuming I don't have any other priority coming up, because I have not, they announced a new Switch game. And maybe it'll be good, but I haven't Pokemon games made for Switch. So I'm gonna sit it out until I hear something positive. But yeah, getting back to the old pixel art kind of classic aesthetic is definitely kind of what I need from Pokemon at this point. So that'll be a good little nostalgia trip.
Can I just mention the absolute abomination of a product they announced during that Pokemon thing with the like music cartridge thing? Like, cool idea for sure. Great idea. Like bringing back clip tunes or whatever those were. Like, great nostalgia bait. The fact that there's one song on each one and they give you like 45 fucking little plastic cartridges to cycle in and out is the most insane and also the most like on brand like Japanese toy I could ever imagine. Just insane to me. They couldn't put them all on like one like fire red or like red or blue cartridge, you know?
Just I think at first, yeah.
Insane. But cool idea, but just like what the fuck, man?
Totally.
It's like the Nintendo Alarmo. I'm like, who is this for?
Well, people buy it, so
yeah,
and they do too.
For somebody,
yeah,
it's for sure.
And I mean, speaking of Pokemon, they are in the next day or two. I think their new like weird life simulation game, Pokopia, is coming out, where you're like a Ditto transformed into a human that like takes powers from his friends and does stuff. Apparently, that's like the highest rated Pokemon game of all time on Metacritic.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I'm probably never going to play it, but there's that. Technically supposed to be good, apparently. All right. Then getting into some non-anime TV shows. There's a French animated series called Samuel that was, I think, came out a year or two ago in France, but it's just released on Netflix. I think you should just watch it. It's 21 episodes, but they're each 4 minutes, so it takes less than an hour and a half to watch the entire series. And yeah, it's very, in the age of AI and polish, it's very personal, it's very raw, it's very real. So highly recommend checking that out. And then also for the opposite end of the spectrum there, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the new Game of Thrones spinoff. It's a short first season, it's only 6 episodes, but even though it starts with kind of a slow burn and lower stakes than we're used to from House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, it does manage to become very compelling pretty early on. So recommend that as well if you're into that universe. Of course, it's Game of Thrones, so it could turn to absolute shit, as we know. There's precedent. Then for movies, so of course the Oscars are coming up, so I've watched all the Best Picture nominees, and I'm going to recommend Sentimental Value. It's my top pick of the bunch. It's not going to win, but my favorite. And then I believe the Uma Musume movie, Beginning of a New Era, is still out in theaters in the US right now, so I recommend you go check that out. You also do not need to know anything about Uma Musume, don't need to watch any of the other anime, play the game, know anything about horses. It's just a really fun sports movie, so I highly recommend that. Incredible animation, definitely a good spectacle for the big screen. And also, Katie's Delivery Service is coming to 4K IMAX release in a couple weeks as well. So if you checked out Princess Mononoke last year, you can do the same for Kiki.
Wait to see how big Gigi's chin is going to be in the front row, baby.
That's right. Yeah, you got to get that front row. And then last recommendations for music, since 75% of the people on this show happen to be fans of this band.
Yes.
And it's tangentially related. We've got a new Gorillaz album, The Mountain. It's really, really creative, really fascinating piece of work. And there's also a 3-song music video short film released with it called The Mountain, The Moon Cave, and The Sad God. And yeah, if you want...
Made by humans.
By humans, very much by humans.
Hand-drawn animation. Old school.
Very hand-drawn, very classic Disney.
Very like Jungle Book.
Very Jungle Book, yeah. Yeah, and, if you're into that stuff, they just announced their tour.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Dude, Little Sims and Deltron opening, sign me up.
I did just see them a few days ago, but my friend is potentially moving here, and he's a big Gorillaz fan, and I might go with him, and they're playing 5 minutes from my house, where I've already seen them before. Wow. But it's okay. So I'll see what tickets are like.
Ooh, they're at the Garden. I hadn't looked to see where it was around here.
So anyway, those are all my myriad recommendations.
Nice. Well, damn, leave some for the rest of us. I got nothing.
It's not exactly new, but I did watch, and I would recommend it if only because it's an interesting experience if you've never watched a movie like this before. But I finally got around to watching the Rose of Versailles movie on Netflix.
Oh, jeez.
From last year.
Oof.
Yeah. I didn't hate it, but I do think Oscar's way more interesting than anybody else. And the whole thing could have been about Oscar, and I would have been very happy. But yeah, the Takarazuka style is an interesting experience because it's like scenes interspersed with small music videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I wasn't really expecting because I didn't know what that was before watching it. So when the little Netflix picture said dramatized by, I think it's like the Tokyo Takarazuka or something, I was like, oh, I wonder what that means. And then just hit play. I wasn't going to bother doing any research. But it leans heavy on those in the beginning because I think it wants to get to like the French Revolution shit, because that's where the story gets really interesting, is the lead up to the French Revolution and everything that happens. But it wasn't terrible. Like, I would give it like, I don't know, a C+ or something. Because there's some pretty like interesting heavy shit that happens, and Oscar, I mean, this Rosa Versailles is like a fucking manga from the 70s, so it's been around for a while, but Oscar is a really, really progressive character in a lot of ways, especially for the time. So yeah, I think it's like 2 hours, and it does look really nice. That part is true. For the most part, it looks really nice. So yeah, if you're bored and you're one of those people that can't appreciate the story because the manga and the anime that came from it are old and of the very clamp art style, this is probably the best you're gonna get. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, they toned down the clampness in this movie. Like, not everyone is.
It's not clampy.
I mean, they have it's or what shoujo-y style-y stuff like.
Yeah, it's 70s shoujo aesthetic. Yeah. But you do get the the second half of the anime series where it's directed by Osamu Tezuki is really, really great. So I do still think that people should check that out. I feel like I would feel bad telling people to go to the movie as a first exposure to the story. I don't know.
I would agree if I didn't know that people would also be like, "Ooh, it's old."
I know.
And then they just wouldn't watch it at all because it's old and therefore ugly and bad. So this cleans that up for a slightly more modern aesthetic. Yeah, didn't hate it. So there you go. Kate, do you got anything?
Resident Evil 9's out.
True.
Girls was gonna be my other recommendation. Yep, it's very Resident Evil.
It looks fun. The Leon parts look fun.
It starts off like, I was like, oh, let's see how much of a slow burn this is at the beginning. It's a slow burn for about 5 minutes, and then it's like straight into the absurd Resident Evilness of everything. I'm like, wow, that escalated quickly. Yeah, so yep. That's basically it. That's my recommendations.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, let's round on to home here. And Kestrel, why don't you start giving out the socials and where we can find everyone?
Yeah, so you can find us wherever you find podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, fandompost.com. Subscribe on any of your podcatchers, RSS feed, etc. We are on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, at Fandom Post Radio. And yeah, get in touch with us via any of those platforms. Follow us, share our stuff, or just email us, fandompostradio@gmail.com. And I am on Twitter at FullMetalKyoma and Blue Sky at CasterSwift.bsky.social. Probably have not posted anything in the month or two since we last recorded, but you can find me on fandompost.com every week reviewing Frieren.
You can find me at Hellshake Brando on the socials. Mostly just on the podcast right now, though. So yeah.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Sonic Bug, and all my reviews are on thefandompost.com. I am reviewing The Holy Grail of Eris and To Your Eternity still, once I get around to catching up on it. And all my other reviews are up there.
Yes. And as always, you can find me right here. And that is it. So, all right. Well, as always, thank you everyone out there for listening. Hope you're enjoying the season. Hopefully you have found a couple gems, because there's certainly a bunch this time around. And we will talk to you again soon.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
I don't think Kane could have said another word. Just as far as his voice could go.
You are rough.
Yeah,
You sounded rough there.
Yeah, we're getting down to it. Got too heated.
Right. Too much hate.
Too much hate for a show that I actually liked.
Right.
Timu Gilbert, man.
Maybe I just have some still lingering trauma about Gilbert almost dying.
Yeah. Maybe this guy should have got typhoid.